Hello friends, this is Raman Gill with a weekly Forex market analysis for the week of March 27th, 2016. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. We'll start off by taking a look at our economic news to see what's on the tab for news this week. Then we'll go into commitment of traders data to understand how the larger players are positioned. And finally, we will move on to our charts. Looking at our Forex Factory calendar here, we start the week off with German IFO business climate numbers, which will be important for the euro. And then we have a couple of FOMC members speaking on Monday as well as RBA Assistant Governor DeBell speaking for Australia. Going into Tuesday here, the consumer confidence number for the US is the most important one. And also we have Bank of Canada Governor Poloz speaking, which will be important for the Canadian dollar. And going further into Wednesday here, we have FOMC member Evans speaking once again, as well as we have the crude oil inventories. On Thursday, we have final GDP number for the US, as well as the unemployment claims. And again, we have FOMC member Kaplan speaking. Going into Friday here, we have current account number for British pound here, which is the trade balance number, and then finally GDP number for the Canadian dollar. And we have revised UOM consumer sentiment number as well as another FOMC member speaking. So in terms of the critical news, we are fairly light this week. Another important thing to remember about this week is Article 50 getting triggered for UK on March 29th. So that will be a critical day for British pound, so be careful with that. Moving on to commitment of traders data here, we are looking at Euro US dollar. If you look at the green line here, we see that the short positions have reduced for leverage money. We have gone from 87,000 short positions to about 68,000 short positions. So this is bullish for Euro US dollar. Looking at British pound here, we actually see that the short positions have been added to. We see leverage money going from 64,833 to 65,647 short positions. However, this is not a big increase in the short positions. On the flip side, though, we have seen asset managers go from 83,000 short positions to 78,000 short positions. Overall, this is neutral for British pound. Looking at Canadian dollar here, we see that the long positions have reduced further. We have actually crossed over into the short position territory. We have gone from positive 10,000 long positions for the Canadian dollar to negative 30,000 short positions. So this is quite a switch over for Canadian dollar, which means this is negative for the Canadian dollar and positive for dollar CAD. So dollar CAD is bullish. Looking at Aussie US dollar here, we see that the long positions in Aussie have increased. We have gone from 38,000 long positions to 45,000 long positions. So this is bullish for Aussie US dollar. New Zealand US dollar here, we see the opposite story. We have seen long positions getting cut here. We went from 11,700 long positions to 2938 long positions. So this is quite a drop in New Zealand dollar, which means this is bearish for New Zealand dollar. Moving on to the charts here, we're looking at Euro US dollar weekly chart. As we can see, the last 4 weeks have been bullish for Euro here. And now on the Sunday open here, we have actually opened up higher. We have broken through that resistance we were looking at last week at 108.20, and now we have moved past it. This makes it quite bullish, and the next resistance we are looking at is 109.20 from weekly perspective. As we can see from the daily chart, Euro has made that jump. Market closed here, and now we have opened up higher above this 108.20 level, and now we're moving towards 108.70. The important support and resistance level here would be 109.20 to the upside. Overall, we are bullish on the Euro. Looking at British pound here, we have seen two solid bullish weeks for pound dollar. Now we are pushing up higher. The next support and resistance level that we are watching here is 25.80, and beyond that 26.80. But to the upside, the final level here is 27.80, which is this previous important support and resistance level here. So price has kind of oscillated between the 2780 level and the bottom of the range here, and now we are pushing back into the highs. Here we do need to watch for Article 50 getting triggered on Wednesday. Looking at the daily chart here, we see that pound is pushing up higher. The target here is 25.80 as the initial level, and then beyond that we are looking at 26.80 and 27.87. Overall, this looks bullish. Dollar CAD here, we did see a bullish candle close. One of the important things to remember about US dollar is that for the US dollar, the market was waiting on the results of the healthcare bill, whether that would get passed through the parliament or not. And we have actually seen that it did not go through. And this causes a market to lose some faith in President Trump and his ability to make the changes that he had promised. And as a result of that, US dollar is bearish this week, and we'll have to see what happens with the tax reforms that come out. But currently, we are seeing the negative impact from the healthcare bill not getting passed, and as a result, we are seeing the drop in US dollar at the moment, and that's why the markets have opened up higher against the US dollar. For dollar CAD here, though, we are looking at this range here for now between 13400 and 13260 level here. At this point, we'll be watching to see what price does at these levels. Looking at the daily chart here, as we can see the range a little bit more clearer here, we see that the price was not able to break above 134, and it is holding above a 132.60 level here. So for the entire last week, this is where the price sat. So we'll be watching these two levels to see what price does. If the price breaks down below 132.60, we are looking at 13200 as the next level, and potentially the move back into here. However, if 132.60 holds, we could see the price go back into 13400 level. Aussie US dollar here, we did get a nice weekly close, but overall the price is in this range between 0.7500 to 77.40 level to the upside, and this is where I'm expecting the price to stay this week as well. Looking at the daily chart here, we did see a few days of drop in Aussie. However, now we'll have to see what price does here. 0.7580 is the next level, but our final level that we are watching is 7,500. So we could see the price come down. So the first target would be 75.80 level, and below that 7,500. Looking at New Zealand US dollar, we do see price sitting in this range here as well. We did see a push up last week, but it was not sustainable, and hence we got this pin here. So for this week, we are looking for a pushback into 7,100 level. Looking at the daily chart here, 7,100 or 7,090 level will be the next target here. After that, we are looking for 7150 to the upside. If the price breaks above the 7100 level, we are looking for 7050. If the price comes and closes below this 0700 level, we're looking for price to come back into 6900 level towards the bottom. That's all for today. I will see you next time.